Breaking news: Fulani herdsmen strike again in Ekiti. Ekiti is where we have the chairman of the Governors Forum, Fayemi, who is one of the Southwest governors fraternizing with the Fulanis because in APC, they've told him that if they are going to give their presidential ticket to a Sultanan, is either himself or Ashiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And not too long ago, they made out calculations saying that he's more likely to get it than Ashiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. By the way, no political party has called out their anybody representing them. So they told him that he's a young person. He bridged the gap of what Nigerian youth are crying for. They want a younger president. By 2023, Ashiwaju Bola Tinubu will be much older. He's still young. He relates with the youth. So they've given him all these things, and probably he thinks he's there, and gradually he is no longer speaking for his people, rather will support them so that he does not lose favor with them. Can you see life? Is that not selfish? Anyway, don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time. God bless you. Fulani herdsmen strike again in Ekiti. Armed Fulani suspected herdsmen on Tuesday attacked 3 women where they resided in a farmland in Iralo area of Ikole, local government area of Ekiti State. Sources allege that the women who were attacked with machetes, had been taken to General Hospital in Ekiti. One of the sources said the armed men, numbering about 6, invaded the place where the women resided and allegedly demanded for money. The source said, but the trouble with the women was compounded by the fact that they did not have money on them except 200 naira. That annoyed the invaded Fulani herdsmen who began to machete them. The state governor has since been informed, and the women are receiving treatment at the Ekiti General Hospital in Ekiti State. So they go there, they saw these women, demanded for money. There is no money coming forth, so they rather sent, they rather decided to descend on them and started macheting them. You see, these Fulani herdsmen men, and guess what? The governor of the state is agreeing that they should have what we call, there's one new process they are trying to bring up, saying that they can actually have a livestock whatever program, free land, a livestock whatever program, and the Ekiti state governor is one of the governors who has accepted that proposition by the federal government. Who are the federal government anyway? Fulani herdsmen. Who are the federal government? No, really think about it. Who are the federal government? If you want to talk about the vice president, is not effective in this government as at today. I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but that's the honest truth. We both of us know that the position of the vice president is more ceremonial. For starters, look at it. The president is out of the country for 2 weeks. There is nothing stopping him for transferring power so that Osibanjo can effect some meaningful change. Do you know the president have dementia? Just to put it out there. Meaningful change before he returned. At least put things in place, because this man is being governed and carried along by the quackers who are leading this country. Let me tell you something. Buhari is not in charge of this country. Have you heard of Abubakar Malami? Have you heard of Femi Adesina? Even Femi Adesina himself, he thinks he's a part of the pack. They are using him. Okay? Garuba Shehu. Have you heard of Lai Mohammed? There are either inner powers that be. Buhari's nephew that is now incapacitated, he's ill, is back in his hometown where he's receiving treatment. So there is a lot more going on in this country than you know about. Oh yes, there is a lot more going on. These women were in their farmland. I know those farmers, when they go, they build houses there, they make it a bit habitable. So they have where to sleep, yes. They have where to make their food. Of course, they're in a farm. They can just bring out yam. Probably they've carried some fish with them, whatever they've carried with them, some soup. They can even make it there, right there and there in the farm. So they stay there for a few days, maybe a week or so, then go back to their family, rather than because of the distance of where these farmlands are. So 3 of them should make them feel a bit more comfortable. I'm not alone in the farmland. The herdsmen invaded, like you earlier heard. They came in, they found out that the women were there alone. Okay, because they saw that there was no man. They don't want to, okay, nobody's attacking them. They went on and they asked for money. Funny enough, the women, they are in the bush. What are they doing with, you want them to carry thousands of naira in the bush? They said they don't have money. And this, and they showed that it was only 200 naira they have. In order to punish them, they started macheting them. And you think it's all right? And you think it's okay? And you think all is well? Nigerians, wake up. These Fulanis that the federal government keep telling us to live with in peace, go and live with your neighbor. I don't understand what they mean by that statement. So, is it a doom statement? Is it a statement of death already? Or I don't understand what they really mean by that statement. Go and live with which neighbor? Which of the neighbors exactly are you talking about? So you see why Nigerians, when there is a call, there is a crying call saying, let us have Oduduwa's Republic, let us have Biafra Republic, let us have Midwest Republic, let this country, let's all divide, or we have different states who are managing their resources, and everybody sends something to the federal government. However, everybody manages their resources. I tell you what, the North will never agree. What exactly is in the north? Is it the feel good that is in Zamfara? I don't think they very much want that. They prefer the fact that crude oil is coming from the south and they can share in it and even tell the people, wait, listen, now you get something. I take them from your hand. I can't divide them for your hand. They tell you, say, now this one be your portion. And it's mine. Am I not the one that's supposed to give you as I please, what I think is due you? No, but the federal government say no, you don't have a choice. As a matter of fact, you now see the person's son misbehaving, which are the Fulani headsmen, the Boko Haram and the rest. And they're not saying, go and take the money from that woman, give us this money, or we destroy this place. You flog them. But no, the federal government say, no, it's my son. They pamper them. And that's where we are today. I hope you get my gist. That's what is going on today, right now, as we speak. So unless something is done drastically to change the narrative of what is on ground, I'm afraid that this country is gradually nosediving. It is actually nosediving. God will help us. God will help us. Guys, God will help us. We must all speak up. You cannot be quiet and say it's not my business. It has not affected me. It does not concern me. Don't do that, so please. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know I'm saying that. The next person, God forbid, it will not be your turn. It will just be maybe your neighbor, your cousin, your nephew, your niece. Do you really want that? Let's be honest now. So you see why everybody, all hands must be on deck. Nobody can be silent or be quiet in the face of what is currently going on. You see why? Leave us a comment. God bless you. Bye for now.